how to get the haircut you want without getting your hair butchered. That's what we're talking about today. All right, so you go into a barber shop, you go into a hair salon, and maybe you have an idea in your head of the haircut that you want. But how do you convey that to the hair professional who's cutting your hair? That's been a dilemma for a very long time, and I've done dozens upon dozens of videos trying to explain it, but many of you are new to my channel. So if you're new, hello. If you've seen this a million times already, well, I'm sorry, but I'm doing it yet again. But when it comes to communication, I know so many of you are focused on what's the name of this haircut, or what do I call it, or what do I say? Well, the best thing you can do is if you're browsing on the internet and you're on Google, you see a haircut that you want, or you're on TikTok, or whatever it is, take a photo of it, take a screenshot, and show the hair professional. Say, this is what I'm looking for. That's it. And don't be so concerned with the name of a haircut, all right? Now, unless it's like, oh, I want an undercut. Okay, an undercut. Well, then there's so many different types of undercuts. Or I want a mop top haircut. Okay, well, there's so many different types of mop top haircuts. What's more important is, remember, you are the client. You're the one getting the service where it's up to the hair professional to be able to execute the style that you are looking for and paying for. That's another thing to keep in mind, is a lot of you may leave comments on, oh, my barber messed up my hair. What do you suggest? Or I keep getting a bad haircut. What should I do, salon guy? Well, you're paying for a service. You have to go back to him and say, hey, you screwed my hair up, fix this, or go to someone else. Or you shouldn't be telling that person how to cut your hair based off of what I would do. You know what I mean? Like, you have to find someone who can cut hair. I know it's not the easiest, right? Sometimes you all say, oh, I can't find someone in a certain area, or there's nobody who cuts hair like that in my country, or whatever it is. Well, that sucks. I apologize. But let's take this haircut, for example. Okay, a lot of you may want to have this type of hairstyle to where it's a little bit longer down here, got some texture and some curl to it, some light wave. You can see there's some nice texture to that, right? Well, this is all because of, watch this. When I pull this hair up, look, it drops down to a certain length. This isn't going all the way down here because that little piece right there, that's a layer. And a layer and layering, which I've also said millions of times, is layering is a technique designed to remove weight. Can you call a haircut a layered haircut? Yes. It just, again, it's a technical name for the haircut. Now, a feathered hairstyle is what the end result is, or the cosmetic name. Layering is a technique, and I want my hair to look feathered, or I want to see the different layers. Okay, then you're explaining the look that you want. The technique is one thing, and the end result style is something else. So if you want to have a specific type of hairstyle, and you don't want to get your hair butchered by the hair professional, you have to make sure and explain to him, what do you want on your hair, on your head, that's going to make you happy? For example, if you want your hair to be this long, right? Let's just say, oh my gosh, that's the perfect length, salon guy. I want. That's it. That's my haircut I want. Well, you need to tell the hair professional, either show them, take a screenshot of this and show this video, or you say, I want my hair, when it's dry, the final style to be this long. Now, that means that the hair professional has to bring it down and cut it a little bit longer because the hair will shrink up and become shorter. They also should know that they need to layer this because all of this has some texture to it, as you can see. If they don't execute that properly based off of what you're communicating, it literally comes down to skill. A lot of you are not blaming the hair professional for butchering your hair. You're trying to do some deep investigation into, figuring out what went wrong. It's because the person who cut your hair literally doesn't know what the F they're doing. That's what it comes down to. It's like going to a restaurant and getting ordering a piece of steak or getting something that's like raw or not cooked. enough. Well, obviously the person making that food doesn't know they need to actually cook the food to give it to you. It's the same thing with hair cutting. So stop blaming yourself for a bad haircut. Stop blaming your hair for a bad haircut. Blame the professional. And I know a lot of times you tell me you do that. Oh, no one can cut hair like you in an 800-mile radius, or no one can cut hair like you in my area. And, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm telling you, there are professionals out there who know how to cut hair. You have to do the work to find them. Go on Google Maps, look at reviews in your area, see word of mouth. Ask somebody who has really, really awesome hair and say, hey, who cuts your hair, dude? I need a new guy, or I need a new hairstylist. Somebody to cut my hair. Who does it? Do some work. And if you're in a situation where you keep getting your hair butchered and you're like, I don't know what to ask for, I don't know what to say anymore, I'm done, just revert to showing photos. And also, what you need to understand is look at the difference between your hair and someone else's hair, right? If your hair, for example, let's just take this mannequin right here. This is look how curly this hair is, right? This hair is super, super curly. Let's just say you have a hair texture like this, but you want your hair smooth and straight like this. Well, guess what? It's not gonna happen just by a haircut. You need to blow dry it. You need to use tools, a brush, smoothing serum, your hair, and then once you wash this and wet this, it's gonna revert back to this. So don't expect to go get a haircut and your hair looks like this and you want a haircut like this and you've got like ringlet curls. And you're like, well, I want my hair a little bit straighter. Well, guess what? Hair doesn't just work that way. Like, you have to understand that your hair is your hair, and unless you manipulate it by blow drying it using techniques, that's how you're gonna get that look. So that's what you ask for, is what will look good with my hair texture? What will look good with my hair type, right? My hair is really, really curly, or my hair is really, really frizzy, it gets dry. Should I have a short haircut where my hair looks like a Brillo pad? Or should I have some length to it like this so I can apply some product to make it look smoother and not so dry? It's up to them. That's what it comes down to. It's up to the skill level. So if you don't want your hair to get butchered, again, if you're unsure what to say to your barber, your hair professional, your hairstylist, just rely more on photographs, rely more on what you want as an end result, and don't be afraid to ask questions. And I know it gets nerve-wracking and sometimes it can be intimidating, right? But just you can say like, hey, I'm so sorry, like I don't know what to ask for, I'm lost, I'm confused, I'm a little bit shy on this, I'm nervous, here's a photo of what I want, like, can you explain to me, like, will my hair do this? Just communicate like you're talking to a friend of yours, because you're paying for a service, or your parents or somebody is paying for you to get a good result. That's what it comes down to. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.